Communication versus challenging inside of a relationship. That's the conversation we're going to have here today on Relationship Thursday. Now, the reason I'm on this topic is because I want to kind of upfront destroy this thing that we keep every time a woman says something or speaks up. Guys instantly want to say she's being masculine. I don't buy any of that. Um, it's those are guys that have, from what I've seen, ego issues. They want to be controlling. They don't want to be called that and told that. Some people like, I don't play with the word narcissistic, but that would be they would fall into that category in most instances. It's kind of like they believe that they are some kind of god or whatever, and the woman is here to serve them. That is so naive. That is so, I can't even say caveman because I don't even know if cavemen thought like that. But the bottom line is now women in the olden days, and I'll get back on the topic we're talking about here. You guys will understand why I started here. But back in the days when women didn't work, they pretty much put up with a lot. They really pretty much didn't have a choice. I saw a guy the other day. He wanted to bring in biblical because he wanted to justify polygamy. And he was talking about in the older days in the Bible, the king, all the different kings and all the different people that had all these wives and concubines. And so it tells you that it's okay. And again, I'm not saying here good, bad, right, or wrong. That's up to you to decide. But I laugh when I hear stories like that because you're comparing different times. You're comparing even biblical times when the women didn't work. So how's she gonna eat? How is she going to have a roof over her head? You're willing to be one of 5 wives in order to eat, in order to have a roof over your head, if that's what it took. But we're in different times where women actually work. They have their own jobs. They make their own money. They can take care of themselves. Now you actually have to have a relationship. You have to actually have people skills because she doesn't need you for the money like in the old days. Like even a lot of guys today, that's why you hear when people talk about high value guys, that they're really just pretty much just looking for eye candy, because they don't care about a woman's money because they got money. And whether people want to hear it or not, that is true in most instances. They're not worried about your money. Most guys don't go in a relationship like where she work is going to depend on where I date her, whether I date her or not. That's usually definitely comes from a woman's side. Guys usually don't care. If he's attracted to her, we're in. Just like when you go talk to your friends, only thing they want to know is, man, how she look. When women go talk to their friends, first thing is, what does he do? How can he take care of you? So that, unfortunately, again, whether we like it or not, that's usually the two sides on the way that works. Now, but because women are in a position where they are able to take care, now that's kind of changed a little bit to where now women are also having that same attitude that I don't need you because I can take care of myself. Just like guys used to look at it because they had their money, they could take care of themselves, they could take care of her. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? The attitude was there. Now you got the challenge in this particular culture where both parties are working, both parties are making money, both parties are at a point where they feel like I don't need the other party, which could be actually dangerous, good and bad. Dangerous from the perspective of people are not going into relationships to make relationships work anymore. And that's why you're seeing, I saw something they said that the numbers show if you take the baby boomers out of the marriage numbers, marriage is going to drop down to 15%. That's scary. Only 15% of the culture would be getting married. And what they're basically saying, and I heard someone use the term, which I've heard before, but she was talking about situationships, that's what's going on. Haven't people figured out that doesn't work? That's what people have been doing. Do you understand that if you get with a person for a situation, the moment that situation is resolved, now you got to look at that partner and all of a sudden you go, I don't even like you. I don't even want to be with you. The only reason I was with you is to get such and such resolved. So now everybody's going to start getting to relationships just for an ulterior motive. Whoa, that is the instant breakdown in relationships. That's why people that chase money for a relationship usually end up single and end up divorced later down the line, because trust me, ladies, because a lot of ladies do this, if you're going in there just for your beauty and you're only there for the money, eventually, I mean, up front, he already knows that. But eventually he'll look to replace you because he knows you ain't there for him anyway. And you're serving a purpose for him at the moment. And then all of a sudden he gets the younger model. And then women are offended, like, I can't believe he went and got the younger model. Well, you was only with him for the money. He knew that. And so the moment you didn't serve his eye candy anymore, he went and got some more candy, some newer, fresher candy. You can't get mad. You went in with the wrong motives. You got to exit out for the wrong motives. So the key is, in relationships, as we know, come in with the right motives. Look for people for who they are. That's why you keep hearing me say over and over and over, look at the person, look at character, look for integrity. We can get the material things, which is the money and all. We can do that together. We can acquire that. Folks, if you don't start putting that money on the back end, and I'm not saying you're going and finding somebody that's irresponsible and don't have no money in it. Why would anybody try to teach you that? It doesn't make any sense. You know the difference between responsible and irresponsible. But when you find someone who fits everything you're looking for, but may not be actually at the income level that the world is trying to program you to believe, like the six-figure income, but he fits everything else, or she fits everything else, and together you guys can acquire the material things that you want, folks, that's what it's about. You'll find out when it's all said and done, that's all it's about. So the reason, again, I wanted to go there is because before I went to the communication, which was the idea behind this, communication versus challenging, is what guys are calling masculinity. I just wanted to address that first. That I don't buy into, because she can take care of herself, because she actually has a mind, she can think, all that. I don't call that masculine. A lot of guys want to do that because they believe, again, you should shut up, sit down, and let me call the shots. But my thing is, if you're not equipped to lead, then you shouldn't be leading. And there's certain areas in every relationship, no matter who you are, every area in a relationship is not your strength. A leader understands that, and understands there are times that I need to follow and allow someone else to lead. I'm talking to you guys that sit there thinking that you need to be making all the decisions. There are places in your relationship, it is not your strength, it is your wife's strength. So sit down and let her lead. That's what leaders understand. And again, understand the more leadership that you're given, the more you're actually a servant, not the other way around. So those of you who think you're being leaders by calling shots don't understand leadership, because your job is to serve, not to be served. Okay, that's a whole different conversation. But anyway, back to the challenging. That's why I said I wanted to address the masculinity, and then understand where that would be true, or where a guy would really feel like you're being masculine, is if you're challenging him in terms of you're coming across with your voice, your tonality, your actions, or whatever, almost in an attack mode, where you're challenging him, making him feel like he's being threatened, either verbally or physically. At that particular time, a guy will look at that as masculine characteristics or masculine action, because it's like you're attacking me. You're putting me on the defense to where I feel like I have to fight. And that's where the problem comes in. If you're in a relationship, and I had someone say this, that she's looking for a partner that will put her in check. And I said, first off, you ain't gonna let no man put you in check to begin with. And she laughed and said, that's true. And I said, but why should he have to begin with? This is not a put you in check. You're not a kid. You don't need a parent. And this is why I said the guys that want to call all the shots. Your wife is not a child. She is smart enough and intelligent enough to make decisions. We're a partnership. So the key is, in this particular case, what I was telling her, why would you challenge your man in a way that he feels threatened, that he needs to put you in check? Because that's why he's putting you in check, because you're challenging him. That to me is where this quote unquote masculine energy, as people want to call it. Again, I don't play those masculine, feminine energy conversations. But I do understand if a person is challenging you and you're feeling threatened, you have to protect yourself. And so in a lot of instances, guys are usually the ones that are usually the aggressor, usually. And that's why that's considered masculine energy. Women fight women. So is that two men fighting? I mean, that's why I said I don't get into all of that. But anyway, bottom line is, do not ever put your partner in a challenging position. That's a maturity conversation. Do not put your partner in that particular position that they feel like they have to fight physically or mentally in order to back you off of them. Does that make sense? So anyway, so that's the difference to me. Communication, as we know, is being able to hear another person out, which a lot of people don't understand what communication is. They think communication is getting a person to agree with me and follow the things that I teach them. Again, is what we're talking about when some guys believe that. They believe that's communication if she listens to what I say. That's not communication. Communication is being able to step in other people's shoes, seeing where they're coming from and understand them. Again, I always tell you guys, I didn't say communication means agree. It's accept people as they are and then come to an understanding on why they think the way they think. That's communication. We ain't got to agree. But now I understand where you're coming from. See, that's communication. We may not even hang out after we get an understanding. But the key is, but I understand you. You guys follow me? There's the difference. And so that's, again, why I talk about the two major keys. One is love, which to me is accepting a person, place, or thing just the way it is. I said accept, I didn't say agree. And then the second one, of course, is communication. And that is where the breakdown will come in, where, quote unquote, to me, where this masculine, where people want to call it that's masculine energy would occur, is in that communication stage. When you come in at him very, very strongly, and he feels like, woo, she's coming at me the way a guy would come at me. That is the problem. That's something you have to address. And we are in a culture, unfortunately, that a lot of women know they can do that. And if it did escalate to something else, he's going to pay the price. I know I've had friends and family who have told me that they called the police, the guys, to get the woman away from them so they wouldn't end up in a physical battle with her or fight or something, because she was pushing it to those levels. And the police show up and the first thing they do is throw the guys in handcuffs. And the guy is the one that called the police. That's the culture in which we live. But back to what we were talking about earlier. Ladies, quit putting guys in those particular situations. That to me is the challenge when you do that. And that is, if you're going to talk about a masculine energy, that would be a masculine energy. And as you guys know, it ain't right. It ain't wrong. It is my opinion. Now, if you don't have my app, run on over to Simplified You, and you can get to that through Google Play or the Apple Store. Simplified You is a free download app. That's where I plug everything in. And the main reason I do that is I don't want any social media having control over my brand. And that's why you guys will see me always pushing you to my app, because I don't want anybody else having that kind of power that they decide they don't like something you said or something you do, and they shut your business down instantly because they put you in jail in their platform. And that's where all your business is tied up. All right. Go over there, get it, and enjoy it. Oh, inside of there, I also put my book, the Relationship Success Handbook, Get Rid of Your Problems, Not Your Partner. That's actually inside of the app. So you get that free, which again is it's on sale in Amazon, but I'm showing you how to get it free. All right. I'll talk to you guys on what is that? Self-Love Monday. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.